across the wide-open fields of the American South. Zooming in on satellite maps of Frio County reveals a long stretch of low-rolling hills, running right along corn and peanut fields. And that's exactly where locals constantly battle the most destructive enemy in this region's farming life: wild hogs. Fast breeding, hard charging, and almost unfazed by human presence. Today, using earlier drone scans, we deploy 4 teams in a multi-layered encirclement, not for sport, but to protect the livelihood of dozens of farming families, where every row of crops represents months of back-breaking work. Drone GPS shows a herd moving down the eastern slope, classic hog behavior right before they pour into open farmland. With 4 units holding strategic choke points across the area, all teams check in on radio. Team David, responsible for the east flank, immediately shifts into observation formation. Thermal scopes scanning the brush, radio man relaying updates. While David, the most seasoned hunter among us, listens for even the smallest twig snap to read the hog's direction. The moment of truth hits. Perfect positioning locks down every escape route. Sometimes, control of the hunt doesn't come from pulling the trigger. It comes from preparation and reading the land at the exact right second. Using GPS data and movement patterns, Command identifies the retreat trail the hogs always take, right where Team David's and Team Mateo's perimeters overlap. Using this natural pinch point, the teams set up a pincer formation. David holds the high ridge, Mateo pushes up the trail, forcing the hogs into a predictable funnel. Hogs bunch up under threat, dangerous for anyone foolish enough to rush them head on. So the squads don't go for a firefight, they go for control, steering the herd's direction while keeping everyone safe at a distance. This is where experience matters. Hog hunting isn't a chase, it's understanding animal behavior. While the team tightens the net, Alex covers the west slope, where charging hog incidents happen the most. A lot of rookie hunters panic here. Not Alex. He sticks to the golden rule. Keep distance, keep control, never react blind. Knowing the land, the angles, and his safe zone, he handles the situation cleanly without throwing off the entire formation. Noise from Alex sends the herd veering straight toward Mateo and Eric, exactly into the narrow passage chosen as the pressure point. Here, timing matters more than fire rate. No one is allowed to shoot unless it's the safest possible moment. No crossfire, no friendly fire, and only when the hogs are fully inside the funnel. A half-second mistake could reset the entire operation. The teams sync their timing perfectly, forcing the herd to break and scatter, preventing them from pushing down toward the farm zone, where damage can reach tens of thousands of dollars. Once the herd splits, radio becomes the team's lifeline. One unclear call could mean 2 squads firing toward each other. Our rule of the night is absolute. If you aren't 100% sure where your team is, your finger stays off the trigger. Hold your posts, Command calls out. Each squad adjusts formation, staying aligned with legal, safe, and ethical hunting practices, stopping destruction without harming the natural balance of this land. When darkness settles, all 4 teams run a thermal sweep across the entire zone, arcing east, west, south, up the ridge. It's not flashy, not exciting, but it's the most crucial step, making sure no hog is hiding close to the barns, ready to return hours later. When the last hog is stopped, the mission ends. But it's not a farewell. It's a reminder. If the hogs come back, so will we. With safe tactics, hard-earned experience, and respect for this land. Out here in the southern farmlands of America, the enemy isn't always storms or drought. Sometimes it's wild creatures breeding beyond control. Our work isn't about bragging rights. It's about protecting communities, protecting the harvest, and keeping the balance between people and the wild. In the dense forests of France, massive, ferocious wild boars blend seamlessly into the rugged terrain, turning every hunt into a true test of skill and patience. With their numbers growing uncontrollably, these beasts have become a major threat, prompting local authorities to offer a hefty reward for anyone brave enough to confront them. We arrived, determined to face these monsters hidden deep in the forest, where every step we took was a gamble. Before the sun rises, we make our way into the forest, following the faint tracks left behind in the soil. These scars in the earth may be signs of the wild boar's presence, but they could also be traps, demanding careful judgment. After just a few minutes, all of our senses heighten, and there it is, its brown hide emerging from the underbrush. A perfectly timed shot is fired after mere seconds of aiming, catching the beast completely off guard. The fallen boar serves as a testament to our precision and the sharp skill of reading the tracks of a wild boar. We continue to follow the faint traces on the ground. Though they don't immediately signal a successful boar sighting, our experience tells us to keep pushing forward. Along the way, Jay proves invaluable, reading the faintest smells and sounds to pinpoint the target. Thanks to his skills, the heavy-hitting boars that appear are brought under control swiftly. His patience and keen detection earned him the reward of a successful hunt. After the loud noise, it seems we've spooked the animals. The boars, quick to react, are now on high alert and begin to flee in panic. Sensing the shift, we lock our eyes on likely escape routes. The moment has come. Each shot is meticulously aimed and fired, blocking any escape attempts the boars might make. Though not the largest, this victory still marks a significant win for the team. The forest grows quieter. The wild boars have hidden themselves well, making the task of reading tracks or observing movement almost futile. Just as we consider changing tactics, the familiar sound of barking fills the air. Our loyal hunting dogs are on the scent. We follow the noise, heading straight for the target. Though the boar is far, I decide to take a shot. Years of training at long ranges allow me to land the hit. The boar has nowhere to run after that blast. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, Nick faces off with his own quarry. When the tracking device beeps, signaling the boar's location, every step becomes a sprint. No matter how fast it runs, the boar can't escape the relentless gunfire. The massive beast, once a shadow in the forest, is now brought to its knees by the combined efforts of man and dog. The hunt never stops. The team moves with purpose, splitting up to approach new targets. With calm precision and sophisticated tactics, we quickly begin to isolate the remaining boars that are being pursued by our dogs. A battle of wits and strength unfolds as the wild boars try to dodge our shots at range. But with our strategy, these shadows in the forest are once again cornered and subdued. Victory belongs to the hunters, thanks to their resolve and determination to protect the village. The hunt for wild boars is not just a test of strength and skill, it's about protecting the crops and livelihoods of the local people. When the hunt ends in victory, the true reward isn't just the trophy, it's the peace of mind knowing that the harvest has been safeguarded. That is the real value of the hunt, a bond between man, nature, and the responsibility to the community. The steep slopes, thick brush, and scattered grass patches create the perfect feeding ground for wild boars, packed with plants, insects, and cover. They slip through the terrain like ghosts, leaving almost no trace. For a hunter, every step demands absolute caution. The hillside tests not only strength, but sharp instincts. Only those truly alert can read the faint signs of creatures that move as quietly as shadows. Climbing the hillside, it feels like the world behind me disappears. Everything drops into an eerie silence. Just me, the ground, and the faintest markings left behind. Every sound, every footprint becomes a crucial clue. With the hunting dogs leading the way, finding the boars is no longer the impossible task it used to be. Smooth teamwork and careful preparation create the perfect opportunity. Every shot lands where it should. Everything plays out clean and controlled. In this wide-open landscape, the drone rises quickly, casting shadows over the slope. I stay tucked inside the brush, waiting for the right moment. The boar still has no idea danger is closing in, until the moment arrives. No matter how smart or quick a wild boar may be, it can't predict a well-laid ambush. And in the end, there's only one outcome for any wild animal trying to claim this land. The strategy continues to prove its worth, not only with technology, but with the pack of hunting dogs driving the boar straight into our field of fire. The guns wait, ready. The moment is here. Even its tough armor-like hide, something that often looks impenetrable, can't withstand the storm of bullets raining down. It collapses in moments. After that victory, the forest suddenly grows still. During times like this, every detail matters. Every track, every judgment must be exact. One mistake, and the boars will have another chance to wreak havoc. But before long, luck turns our way. And in that instant, we understand. Success comes not only from strength, but from silence, patience, and calm in the defining moments. There's no pause, no chance to relax. Every step and every glance scans the terrain. Then suddenly, the familiar rustle, the sharp scent hitting my nose. When the boar falls, it becomes more than just a trophy. It's proof of skill, intuition, and the ability to read the land with precision. This is where every skill and every ounce of focus is pushed to the limit. The unstable slopes, shifting angles, and uneven ground turn balance itself into a battle. Every shot must be calculated, not just distance, but absolute accuracy. The situation can change in a split second, and a tiny mistake can send the boar fleeing into the brush. This hunt isn't only about victory, it's a journey that showcases skill, grit, and harmony with the wild. The American South is struggling under a true wild hog epidemic. Herds of feral pigs tearing through crops, pushing deep into neighborhoods, and spreading fear among local families. As the situation grew critical, the volunteer hunting team led by Thomas moved out immediately. In the early morning light, hands tightened around legally licensed firearms, and in their eyes was a shared resolve. This hunt wasn't about thrill or excitement. It was a mission to protect the community and save the last harvest of the year. This terrain was rougher than anything we had faced. Thick brush, jagged rocks, and every step sinking deeper into nature's challenge. Wild hogs are notoriously clever, and they hid so well I almost believed none were here at all. Luckily, our four-legged partner picked up the scent. Within moments, the dogs flushed the hog out of hiding. A thunderous shot echoed through the forest. That massive body hitting the ground marked our first victory in the fight to stop these destructive beasts. That first win was a powerful reminder, and it pushed us forward to track down the next threat. Following the faint signs left behind, we moved with caution. Then, the wind shifted. The hog instantly sensed something was wrong, and the chase turned brutal. But no one in the team wavered. Thomas quickly reorganized, repositioning us to keep a safe distance while using the changing wind to our advantage. There! One well-timed squeeze of the trigger, perfectly dialed for long range. This clean shot showcased the team's skill, grit, and unshakable determination to protect the fields. We continued sweeping every corner, my eyes locked on every movement, never letting my guard slip. Not long after, I caught a strong scent, and the dogs were closing in fast. Come on, I'm ready for you. A dark shape appeared, and the shot cut through the chaos. In that moment of confusion and noise, calm judgment and nerves of steel made all the difference. The team kept moving, searching for new targets. But this time, I chose to stay put, locking myself into a perfect ambush point ahead of the trail. There it is. There's no escaping the jaws of death from here. How would you score that shot? But remember, if you're not a trained hunter, don't try what we do out here. Elsewhere, Thomas himself stood as a solid wall guarding one of the most hog-prone entry points. Each shot he fired was a firm warning. Any intruder stepping in here had better be ready to face the guardian of this land. Peace here now carried Thomas's mark of protection. As the day wore down, the searches and chases slowly calmed. But just before sundown, the dog signaled again, the sound we'd been waiting for all afternoon. Weapons ready, we sliced through the trees to cut off the hog's escape. "Finish it!" a teammate shouted from the left. A near point-blank shot sealed the final victory. With that, we secured the harvest and restored peace for the local families. proving once again the courage, skill, and relentless determination of the team in some of the toughest hunting conditions imaginable. Deep in the woods, through danger and challenge, Thomas's team proved that true hunter's instincts, combined with teamwork, can safeguard this land. We hunt strictly under US laws and with respect for wildlife management. The farming system in the Czech countryside has been under continuous attack by wild boars, causing severe damage to the harvest last season. Thomas, my longtime farmer friend, contacted me in urgent need of help to eliminate this threat. I quickly prepared myself for the perilous mission ahead, knowing that this trip would not only determine the fate of his family, but also that of the entire rural community. At 5 a.m., we arrived at the edge of the forest. Our specialized weapons and modern equipment were thoroughly checked before we ventured into the woods. The hunting dogs were released, bringing their strength and keen instincts to track down the prey. The familiar barking signal echoed through the air, and I immediately selected the optimal position to intercept. With skills honed through many hunts, the dogs quickly spotted the wild boars and drove them into my range. And then, in that moment, a deafening shot rang out, marking the beginning of a perfect coordination between man and hunting dogs. Suspecting that there were still more boars hiding deeper inside, we decided to push further in. Everyone quickly spread out, each covering a different area, moving silently as we tracked our targets. My eyes scanned the surroundings, spotting small groups as well as solitary individuals. To avoid startling them, I decided to take down the lone ones first. As the target came into my sights, I squeezed the trigger decisively. The beast collapsed, unable to comprehend the situation. It was a moment of calm, precision, and total control of the situation. Groups of wild boars, large and small, rushed out one after another, testing our patience and judgment. While I was focused on dealing with them, a few managed to slip away unnoticed. Yet, I wasn't worried, knowing that Nick was covering the lower end, ensuring no boar could slip through. As soon as a target became clear, a sharp shot rang out, decisively taking down the beast in an instant. What do you think of this strategy? On the edge of the forest, Jack's team was tasked with guarding the perimeter, where the quiet atmosphere stood in stark contrast to the deafening gunshots from the central area. Yet, their eyes never wavered, remaining focused and alert to every sound and movement. The distant gunfire could easily send the wild boars into a panic, causing them to flee into areas like this one. Soon enough, a wild boar appeared. The moment it stepped out from behind the trees, the bullet flew and hit its mark. Though not large, it was still a threat that had to be dealt with immediately to prevent further chaos in other areas. Before we could even get close to inspect, the sound of the hunting dogs caught Jack's attention. Without hesitation, he charged straight toward the source of the noise. "Look, it's no small one," Jack whispered. The moment had come, and his finger squeezed the trigger instantly. The shot rang out, adding another mark to this thrilling journey. One by one, more targets were taken down by our professional teammates. After the fog cleared, the light had never been so clear. The prey, hidden in the mist, now stood exposed in the open field. We quickly deployed and took down the targets with perfect precision. After hours of fighting, the spoils were beyond expectations. The sweat and relentless effort paid off, bringing a successful and productive hunting morning to a close.